I'm Alan Weiss, and this is The Writing on the Wall. Hi, I'm Alan Weiss. This is The Writing on the Wall, episode 44, Why Meaning Matters. I have here some ancient implements. This is a note card. My name's embossed on it here. You can't see it on camera. And this is an envelope for the note card, and my address is embossed on the back. And this is a pen, a writing implement, not a keyboard. These ancient things were used once to write notes. A thank you note, a condolence note. We don't do that so much anymore. And to some extent, we've lost meaning. Writing became very, very popular during the American Civil War. And the reason is that one of the brilliant things Abraham Lincoln did was he got a postmaster general called Montgomery Blair. And Montgomery Blair spent a lot of money revving up the Postal Service because they realized that morale would depend upon the ability of these soldiers who were in the Army for years and years to write home in the North and to receive letters back from their families. It was a huge morale booster. Coincidentally, this is also why the railroads were built up to the extent they were, not just for troop movement, but also to move people back home and to enable people to move around the country more easily. So letter writing among Civil War soldiers was much more efficient, was done in greater quantity, and was probably more articulate than any such letter writing done today, when everybody uses keyboards and short forms. We know great historical figures today, to a large extent, and even ordinary people, like those soldiers and like others, because of the letters they left. Writing was something you did. You wrote to others, you left journal entries, and so forth. There was a fabulous play called Love Letters, which is still playing all around the country, where two performers simply sit on stage at two desks, no props other than the desks and the papers, no scenery, no changes of scene, and simply read the love letters they've written to each other over the years. It's a very moving play and it's very well done. When you see on a screen in pixels, I feel the number 4 and the letter U, I feel for you, in shorthand text, it's not quite effective as a letter of condolence. Recently we saw David Mamet's play Race in New York with James Spader and David Alan Grier. It's a fabulous play, and it contains wonderful language and complex meanings on race. You can't convey this without careful meaning. When people say to you, no problem, it doesn't mean the same as you're welcome. No problem means, well, you haven't quite bothered me and I'll tolerate your behavior. You're welcome means, I'm happy to have served you, I'm happy to have helped. Meaning matters. When every golf putt is great or brave or courageous, it debases the language. People who run into burning buildings, people who are in Afghanistan and Iraq and other places defending us with their lives on the line, they're brave and great and courageous. We have to be careful about where we use our adjectives. Words like legendary and diva have lost their meaning. Sinatra, Elvis, the Beatles, Bruce Springsteen. Did you see Bruce Springsteen on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame program? My God, those are legends. Kanye West? No, sorry Kanye, I'm taking the award away. Marian Anderson, Beverly Sills, divas. That's where the word belongs. Diana Ross? Nah, sorry. We substitute rote for meaning all too often. You go into a restaurant, the server walks up and he says something like this. Hello, I'm Scott. I will be your server tonight. We're happy to have you here in the House of Veal. What may I get you? And the problem is that the service isn't very good, nor, for that matter, is the veal. We talk about rote, we don't mean what we say. You hear the same thing on airline flight announcements. There's also the other extreme. You'll go to a high-end restaurant and the entry on the menu will read like this. We have a mushroom noosh with dribbled Prego reduction enveloped in a kitafouip. What is that exactly? It's an omelet. What is, by the way, a smothered onion? Have you ever seen that? We have burgers and smothered onions. How do you smother an onion, with a pillow? What does that mean? When my son was first learning to read, very proudly he'd get his menu in the restaurant. I don't want to embarrass my son, but it's Jason Weiss. He's in his master's program at the University of Florida for drama and acting. When he first learned to read, he'd say to the waitress, I'll have 2 eggs any style. Read it right off the menu. Meaning matters, or you don't get what you want. You don't get what you expect. You don't get what you need. But listen, no worries. Next time, be good. You know what I mean? Keep trucking. You know what I mean. Let's go, Koufax. Come on, Koufax. Get in the car. In the car. Good boy.